Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of Just Kickin' It. I'm Lloyd Meeks, your host. Today we have student Nate Monks and Public Safety Chief Eric Allen presenting their own stories about life. Now these stories may get crazy as we go on, but just sit back and enjoy the ride as we continue on throughout these crazy journeys. Now let's start with Nate. Nate, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How you guys feeling?
Oh man, we're all great here today in the studio. So, to my understanding, you've been through some crazy things throughout life, from your time in middle school up until your time at Thiel. Can you elaborate on this for that?
Well, some of the things that are appropriate for TV I can elaborate on, but I've been, I've had some crazy injuries. I've had my fingers stomped on, broken 8 of those in a football game. I've broken my wrist in a football game. Leading up into football camp, I broke both my ankles trying to be Air Jordan at 5'2". So I've tried to do things that my body couldn't attain throughout life.
Wow.
One of the better ones was going into 9th grade. Butler was trying to. I'm from Butler School District. We were trying to build a football program, so we sent all the kids from 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade to a football camp at Slippery Rock, hosted by the coaches and the football players. And while we went there, I went there with a bunch of kids my age, and one of my good buddies had a brother that was going to be a senior as we were going into 9th grade.
Okay.
So moving into the big boy schools, we thought we were pretty cool, and we had our big boy pants hanging out with the big boys, the seniors, until they started harassing the crap out of us young guys. And we were in a room, a dorm room with a bunch of the older guys just fooling around, throwing water bottles at each other or something, and out of nowhere I hit somebody that was older than me in the face of the water bottle.
Now, before we continue on with this story, you guys can see where this is going. Nate, finish.
So I hit a kid that was in 11th or 12th grade in the face of maybe a half full water bottle, and it hit him in the mouth, and he wasn't happy about it. And I saw the look in his eyes went to full terror, and I knew I had to run, so I took off running around. And anybody that goes to Thiel, Slippery Rock dorms are not as small as Thiel dorms. It's not like a 20-yard hallway. It is like a big perimeter circle. It's huge, and so I just took off running like a bullet. And I turned around, there's 2 kids chasing me, and I just kept running and running and running. And I looked down at my feet, and there's a staircase. And I took a step, and I knew my life was ending, because I'm like Air Nate. I'm like flying through the air, down at the feet. This is a big staircase. This is like a 15-foot staircase, 15-step staircase. And I knew things weren't going well. I went down in the middle of the air, and right before I landed on my right ankle, I saw, and I knew that things weren't going well. Came down, and when I landed on it, I just screamed in agony, and the kids knew. They knew there was a staircase there somehow. Ran down the stairs and then dumped massive bottles of baby powder on me. Like I'm telling you, there was a pile on my forehead of baby powder as I'm screaming in agony, like, somebody call my mommy, like, my ankle. And look at it, dude, it looked like a softball was sewn around my foot.
Wow,
so
Nate.
From
this story, we come to the conclusion that you have a lot of air mileage. You also have a lot of broken bones. I'm surprised you're still here standing in one piece. And when we come back, folks, we would like to welcome Chief Allen onto the show to tell about his crazy stories and things throughout his life that have, brought attention to it and things like that. So Nate, again, we would like to thank you for coming on your show. Thank you for your time. And after this break, we would like to welcome Chief Allen onto the show.
Thanks for having me.
Can I kick it?
Welcome back, folks, to Just Kickin' It. Again, I'm your host, Lloyd Meeks, and I would like to welcome now to the show Chief Eric Allen. Chief, how's your day going, man?
Going great now that I get to see you.
Always a pleasure. Now, Chief has been from my neighborhood to yours, and today we would like Chief to talk about some of the crazy experiences that he has had as a police officer, not only here at Thiel, but also outside in the real world as well. So, Chief, we understand you have a lot of stories for us, some scary, some funny. Could you tell us a few?
Sure. As a policeman for almost 20 years, I have a lot of stories. The funny ones are the best, though. One story in particular that really stands out is I was a young police officer, not even 21 years old, and Uniform looked real nice, boots were polished, pins everywhere, and I went to stop a car for speeding, and as I go to get out of the car, you know, it's wintertime at this point, I slip and fall right into a slush puddle. So instead of continuing up to the driver, I just got back in my police car and left. So about 5 minutes later, I received a call from dispatch asking me why I'm not on that traffic stop. After falling, I forgot to call out on the traffic stop. I never even talked to the driver, and she ended up calling 911 to ask where the policeman was. Well, I was at the station trying to dry off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, well, if you guys get stopped by Chief nowadays in the wintertime, you know what to do. Pull over near ice. He won't get you.
And I'll just leave you sitting right there. Another one was, this was a pretty funny one. I worked in a pretty rough neighborhood outside of Pittsburgh, and we were looking for, a suspect who had done some pretty bad things, and we were near a river, and it was somewhat of a pier type dock, and as we're walking towards the woods, we were on this pier type dock, and something jumped out and scared my partner, and he knocked me into the river. Well, it was 6 or 7 feet with no ladder, so I had to swim 20 yards down the river to get back out. So that was pretty funny. Again, I wish there were cameras to see that because it's almost unbelievable.
Well, so far we've learned that you have had no warm experiences, all cold and wet.
You're absolutely right.
And could you tell us one more story, Chief?
Sure. One of the most scariest things that I've been involved in was, as a young policeman, I was sitting there talking to another policeman who was a young police officer also, and we received a call of shots fired and an officer down. So one of the calls that you never want to hear as a policeman was another officer being shot. We proceeded to the other township to help them, and it was one of the scariest, not only because of how fast we were driving to get there, but because we were anticipating what we were going to see. First off, there were shots being fired. Second, we didn't know if one of our colleagues were going to be on the ground. Once we got to the scene, it wasn't what was called out. Everybody was okay. But what had happened was I did not remember getting to that location because of tunnel vision. You know, driving 105 miles an hour down the road and your adrenaline pumping and all you can see is 5 feet in front of you. So that was one of the most scary things that I've been through in the past 20 years.
Well, we would like to thank you, Chief, for your stories for the day. And next up, we have a game. This is a lightning round that pits two men against each other. Now, the prize, bragging rights, Chief, so get ready. Chief, you and Nate will today face off in an epic rock, paper, scissors challenge. So, Chief, I need you to go, get ready. Nate, wherever you are, you better be ready, because coming to you now, after the break, we would like to have Chief, Nate, an epic duel, rock, paper, scissors. We'll be back. Welcome back, folks, to Just Kicking It. I'm Lloyd Meeks, and today we will be having a very epic rock, paper, scissors match. Now, in this match, you never know. We'll need one winner, one loser. Now, the rules are very simple. Again, we will need one winner and one loser. Now, to the introductions. Introducing first, from Thiel in Greenville, Pennsylvania. He's not in trouble now, folks, which is very surprising. No handcuffs, no anything. However, there's no guarantees. Welcoming on to the show now, Nate Monks.
How's it going, Luke?
All right, Nate, are you ready for this match?
I'd ask Chief that question.
Ooh. And now, without further ado, welcome to the show, the great, Thiel's greatest, Thiel's finest, the man with the plan, Chief. How's it going, Chief?
Doing well.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, the rules. I want a clean match. I don't want any disputes here on the show. We'll keep it very clean. Rock, paper, scissors. Not rock, sticks, and stones. Now.
Can't promise that, Lloyd. Can't promise that.
All right. I will give one disqualification warning, and we'll leave it at that. After that, we will have disqualification. Nate or Chief will win by default. That sounds good, folks?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good, gentlemen?
Sounds great.
All right. Shake hands. Touch gloves. Touch gloves. Touch rocks. Thank you. All right, let's begin. Rock,
Paper, scissors,
shoot. Oh. So at the end of the first round, we have Nate. Nate, you want to give a shout out, Nate?
Shout out to Captain Jones.
All
I
right,
think you
thank
might be
you,
taking
Nate.
the
That's enough,
position
Nate.
after today.
That's enough, Nate. Thank you. All right, next round, let's go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh.
Sudden
All right.
death.
Sudden death. Now and again, the rules are very simple. One winner, one loser. Keep it clean. Let's go, folks. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And there you have it. Nate, no, Nate. Too much, Nate. No, relax. Chief, thank you for your time here.
Thank you.
But Chief, you were unable to catch Nate in this thing. Nate, you get off unhandcuffed. Chief, thank you for
Try again this weekend.
your
Thank
time
you for
on the
having
show.
me. Thank
Nate,
you.
stay right here. We need you here, Nate.
Get the belt.
No belt. Hey.
Have a good day,
Nate,
fellas.
how does it feel to finally be Chief?
It's been happening for a couple years, but to finally have one on camera is nice.
All right, Nate. Thanks again for your participation on the show, and we'll see you next time.
Of course, let me know if you want somebody else to take the belt.
All right, Nate. After this match, you get full bragging rights when you see Chief walking around this campus. So take charge of that. Use your powers wisely, young Skywalker.
Padawan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Just Kicking It. I'm Lloyd Meeks. Thank you guys. Have a great day.